What's up, dudes? I'm the Dominicator, and in this video, I'm going to hypnotize you to watch sports and to be inspired by the sports and the athletes that you do watch, and to work out more and harder on account of them. So as in all of my videos, you will be commanded to leave a comment at the end while hypnotized, so go ahead and log into an account that you can use for that. Mute any distractions, and continue when you're ready to get hypnotized. Alright, dudes, so to begin, look at the spiral in front of you, and as you look at the spiral, the more that you do, the more that draws your attention in, the more that it draws your focus right into the center of it. And the more that you listen to the sound of my voice, the more that you can feel a wonderful warm and masculine, a dominant, sporty tone and texture from it. That just feels so good to feel. And the more that you feel a heaviness just dripping and dropping down on top of your mind, and that just begins to melt away your thoughts. It just melts away your thoughts and cares and worries and stresses and tensions. And as they just melt down, they drip down and drop down onto the muscles of your body. It is something that gives you a wonderful and mind-melting feeling, a wonderful, empowering, and a strengthening feeling in your body. And that just feels so good to feel. That just feels so good as I guide you even more into that state. And it just feels so good listening to that wonderful, warm, and masculine, and dominant, sporty tone and texture from my voice. And it was so good and so wonderfully mind-melting and so heavy that it just makes you want to go down, to drop down, to crash down into a wonderfully passive state. And that would just feel so good. That would just feel so good that you can already feel a building up of an anticipation and a desire to want to just crash down into such a wonderfully passive sleep-like state. And you will, once I click my fingers together and I say that word sleep, it will feel just as if there's a jolt that goes off inside of your mind, and that just takes you down into a wonderful sleep. All of your muscles in your body will become loose and limp, and you'll fall down into a wonderful sleep in which you'll continue just to soak in, just to sink into the sound of my voice, and feeling even better and better, and drifting down even more into even more of a sleep-like state. And all just feels so good as it happens, and as it happens, the more that it does, the more that you can feel a building up of an intensity and a drive and a desire, and intensity and a drive and a desire to want to take in even more of that wonderful, warm, masculine, dominant, and sporty voice and tone and texture. There's something about it that draws you even more into it, and that just makes you want to even more so to feel the wonderful morphing, twisting, and turning feeling from the sound of my voice and its effect on your mind. You can already feel a building up of a desire just to want to express and to expel all of that built up and pent up energy inside of your body, but will allow it to build up even more, as you feel even more of an empowering, strengthening feeling, even right now, as your mind continues just to melt, as you feel each and every thought just melt away and drip down, drop down right onto the muscles of your body. It just feels so good. It will feel even better once you do awaken with a desire to want to watch sports even more, and to follow them even more, and to work out even more and even harder on account of them. That would just feel so good. It would feel so good that even right now your mind begins to melt so completely and so totally, and that you don't even want to stay awake at all. You don't even want to think about anything at all. You don't want to, you don't need to, and you don't have to think about anything at all. All that you have to do is just to crash down on that wonderfully relaxed and passive and even obedient state whenever I click my fingers together and I say that word sleep. It will just feel so good. That will just feel so good to fall down, to go down, to drop down, to crash down into that state. Now, sleep, as you just drop down, as you fall down, as you go down, as you collapse down, as each and every muscle in the body just lets loose and just becomes loose and limp, just like that. Now that just feels so good. It feels so good as you just sink into, as you just soak in the sound of my voice, the wonderful, warm, and masculine, dominant, sporty tone and texture from my voice just dripping and dropping down on top of you. It's a wonderful tone and a texture, a wonderful feeling of a masculine and dominant male authority figure who can tell you exactly what it is that you need to do. And that just feels so good, having a coach, a mentor, a master to follow and to obey. Well, that word master, that just gives you such a nice and a tingly feeling all throughout your mind, all throughout your body. It just feels so good. As you just follow each and every suggestion I give you, the more that you do take them in, each and every single suggestion I give you, the more that you take in those suggestions, the better that it feels. And the more that it just makes you want to follow each and every single suggestion I give you. But even better to receive and to take in commands that I give you. That just feels even better. Even better, and it gives you even more of a momentum, a propulsion, a force that it just makes you want to, even more so, to follow and to obey the commands that I give you. To follow and to obey the commands of your master. Well, that just feels so good. That's the best thing ever, man. And it feels even better now as you just sink into, as you just soak in that wonderful, warm, smooth fluid that is the sound of my voice. It just feels so wonderful, wonderfully mind-melting and relaxing. It's the same kind of feeling that you'll have each and every single time that you tune into any kind of a sportscast, any kind of sportscast, any kind of game that's going on, whether it's playing on the TV or on the radio or anything. And it will feel just as if you're feeling right now this wonderful mind-melting feeling, a stress-busting feeling. It just takes away each and every single thought, care, and worry. And you might have had a feeling about watching sports, about listening to sports before, and perhaps you've had a feeling of wanting to avoid it, but it all just melts away now in that wonderful, warm and masculine, dominant, sporty tone and texture of the sound of my voice. It just feels so good to sink into, and just feels so good to fall into. You don't have to, you don't need to think about anything at all. All that you have to do is just to listen, and all you have to do in the case of a game is just to watch. And the more that you do, the more that it feels as if it just takes away any and all of your cares and worries and stresses and tensions and thoughts away. There's something that is just so completely and totally mind-melting about it, and something that is just so completely and totally just engrossing, just as when you were watching the Spiral before. Something about it just draws in and takes in and pulls in your attention even more. And the more that it does, the more that you feel that wonderful, mind-melting feeling that just feels so good. That just feels so good as you listen to the announcer, as you listen to the sportscast, and as you watch the game. Oh, the more that you do, the more that you feel a pulling and a drawing, a sucking feeling even, that just seems to draw your attention in. The more that you watch it, even though it might seem that it's boring at first, but the more that you do watch it, the more that you feel arising in an intense feeling of anticipation, of excitement for the game and all of the plays that are happening. The more that you do pay attention to it, the more that you learn about it, all of the rules of the game. And the more that you do, the more that you feel an investment in the game, and the more that you feel an investment in a team and an athlete. There's something about it, even just watching it superficially, even just watching it a bit, that gives you a wonderfully athletic feeling. All of the cares, worries, stresses, tensions, and thoughts having melted down onto the muscles and muscle fibers of your body. Something that just gives you such a strengthening, such an empowering feeling. Something that just makes you feel like you want to be as strong and as athletic as the guys out on the field. There's something that just pulls you, draws you, and that magnetizes you into wanting to work out. Each and every single time that you do watch a game, each and every single time that you hear about a game, or that you hear about athletes, or anything related to it at all, there's something that just makes you want to train your body to release all of that wonderful pent-up tension inside of the muscles of your body, the feeling of your thoughts having just melted down, dripped down, dropped down right onto them. It's such an awesome power, a feeling of strength, and that just surges into each and every single muscle and muscle fiber of your body. Something that just wants to be expressed, that just needs to be expelled from you, something that just needs to be worked out. And you can even imagine it now. You can even imagine what it must be like to be an athlete, to train each and every single day. You can imagine it, and the more that you do, the more that you feel a rising and building feeling of anticipation and excitement for doing exactly that. For pushing out each and every single repetition of each and every single set of each and every single exercise in your program. Well, that just feels so good. That just feels so good, and not only just to think of it and all the good and the positive things that come of it, the good and the positive gains, the growth in your muscles, the increase in your strength. There's something that just feels so good about it. And this is something that you're reminded of each and every single time that you watch a game. It can be so motivating and so encouraging. Each and every single time that you watch a game, there's something that just makes you want to work out, and you can work out even while you're watching it. There's something that just seems and that just feels so encouraging and so motivating about it. And not only that, but knowing that you're doing it under the direction of such a powerful, dominant, and masculine coach, mentor, master. Now that just feels so good, just to receive, to take in, to follow, to obey that command from your master, that you will work out whenever you're watching a game. There's something about the game that just makes you want to, that just makes you need to work out. And knowing that you are crunching out each and every single repetition for your master, that just makes it all the more worthwhile. It just feels so good, and just makes you so happy to do exactly that. It feels so good just to obey and to serve such a powerful, dominant, masculine, alpha male master. That just feels so good, man. And it makes you feel exactly as if you were training, as if you were an athlete, and as if you were training to play that game yourself. It's something that just feels so awesome, so wonderful, and even stress-busting, mind-melting about it. You don't have to, you don't want to, you don't need to think about anything at all. All that you have to do is just to follow and to obey your master. Well, the more that you do, the better and better that you'll feel. The more that you feel a wonderful conversion of all the unnecessary thoughts in your mind into a strength in your body and the muscles of your body. That just feels so awesome. That just feels so good, man. It's just so effortless to do. Each and every single time that you begin to watch a game, you feel an awesomely overpowering and mind-melting feeling. It just begins to melt away each and every single thought of worry or concern inside of your mind. They all just melt away. They melt away, and they pull into an energy in your body. You can feel it. You can feel that energy in your body. You can feel an energy in the muscles of your body. That just feels so awesome. That just feels so good. So good that you even want to flex your muscles. There's a feeling that they're becoming so strong, so big, that you just want to flex them. You just want to show them off. You just want to flex your muscles and to bear them. No, that would just feel so good. Feels so good just to take your shirt off. No, then in a moment, whenever I count you off from 1 all the way to 5, then when I reach 5, then you will take your shirt off if you're wearing one at all. And when you do, then you'll have an irresistible urge and a desire to just flex your muscles. This is exactly how it feels whenever you're watching a game. Then you'll feel this irresistible desire and urge just to flex your muscles. There's something about the game, something about the plays, something about the crowd, and something about the whole air of it all that just gives you such a wonderfully mind-melted and nice and happy and an empowering and a strengthening feeling that it just makes you want to, and that just makes you need to flex your muscles. And you don't even want to, you don't even need to think about it at all. And all you have to do is just to follow and to obey your master. Now then, in a moment, when I count you up from 1 to 5, then when I click my fingers, and you'll have an irresistible urge, a desire to take your shirt off and flex your muscles. And then once you do that, then you will leave a comment for me that says, "Yes, master, I will watch sports and work out, master." You leave a comment that says, "Yes, master, I will watch sports and work out, master." And when you leave that comment, it will become the complete and total and absolute truth. You will be a sports watcher, and you will work out as you watch those sports. And it will just feel so good, so awesome, so wonderful, and so empowering. It will just make you feel great each and every single time that you do. And now then, I'll count you up from 1 to 5. Well, now then, beginning with 1, as you begin to come up, to lift up, to rise up to a nice and half awake and half asleep state. 2, coming up even more and even further, feeling even more of that desire to flex your muscles. 3, already halfway there, just needing to remove your shirt and flex your muscles. Now 4, almost all the way back up, and now 5. Alright, dudes, check out Dominicator.com to schedule a session with me to get hypnotized. Catch you later, dudes.